Jonathan Rogers. I'm a cyber project manager at DIU. The Tracking Aerospace Ground Equipment project, that project came to be as a result of a partnership with OUSD R&E and NIWC Pacific. The project aimed to address the shortcomings of the traditional means of tracking aerospace ground equipment, which, believe it or not, until this project was pen and paper. So there was dozens of man hours wasted per day at our test site, Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam, scouring dozens of square miles looking for these pieces of equipment that are as small as a drill. So we had this project to solicit for means of tracking this equipment to provide live location data for airmen at Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam, so they can just kind of look up on their phone, their laptop, a desktop, and see immediately where these pieces of equipment are, as opposed to having to scour and hope you find it, especially for the high-use items. So yeah, we originally solicited for specifically physical hardware trackers, but we've since expanded to AI-based solutions for finding these assets. Originally, we started with 15 trackers from 3 different vendors. These are the physical hardware trackers. We started with 15 from each of those vendors and placed those as a testing, just to see if the technology works, does it work in the environment, so on and so forth. We used those at Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam to track 15 selected assets, put one from each vendor on each of those assets. We eventually selected one, the one being selected is Kudelski. They scaled up to 300 trackers. All the vendors worked, just Kudelski was the best from a price standpoint as well as technology standpoint, and just worked the best in our use case. So we scaled them up to 300 trackers being used at Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam to track all of their critical assets. And then we also leveraged Turbine One as the AI computer vision company. We're using them at Naval Air Station Whidbey Island. They're up and running using several dozen cameras across the flight line to track assets, as well as what they allow is endpoint training. So sailors can actually train additional detection models without having to go back to the vendor. So we expanded their use case to also include intrusion detection, other methods of detection, or other object detection, just by virtue of the cameras already already running the detection algorithms. So their use case is expanded. And we're also, just as of this week, 24th of January, I guess, we signed the contract modification with Turbine One to expand their work to Lulule out in Oahu, Hawaii.